California facing gas crisis under Democrats' crippling green agenda regulations. Of course, this is going to happen. I told y'all they're going to regulate you. Democrats are going to regulate you and tax you into oblivion. That's all they got. That's their entire policy. And they try to pretend, especially when it comes to regulations, they try to pretend like they care about the environment. It's not about the environment. I've went over the studies and stuff about the environmental stuff before, but put that aside. Put that all aside. It's not about saving the environment. It's about taking money from you and I. It's about taxing people to live, to breathe. That's what this whole thing is about. And this is why gas prices in California is so expensive right now. It's growing. It's getting more and more expensive, I should say. And when I was bragging about Trump bringing down the gas prices, how it's a big difference between now and when Biden was in office. I had a commenter say, I had a troll say, no, gas prices is really not that much. Gas is really not that much better. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, where do you live? You know, they live in California. That's why they said it's gas prices is not really all that better. Because when you live in a gas tax place like California, of course things are going to be more expensive because of all the regulations. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to break it down. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Slate News, and they report that California is barreling towards a full-blown gas crisis due to the Democrats' green energy policies and new regulations, which are tanking the state's refineries and driving prices to staggering heights. I told y'all, Democrats cannot govern. Look at every place that Democrats govern, and they destroy it. California, the once beautiful state, man. And look at what's going on now. But this week, the state rolled out major adjustments to its low carbon fuel standards program. As a result, California saw another spike in gas prices, which are already the highest in the nation. The situation is stoking fears of a looming energy disaster. In a statement, California's Republican Senate Minority Leader Brian Jones warned, quote, "Not every California is a millionaire like our governor is, and these regulations are bearing down on the average Californian and making California unaffordable. I'm addressing the cost of gasoline in California and trying to do everything I can to repeal the regulations that are causing it to go up, while at the same time alerting Californians of the impeding cost of gasoline. With the state's combined web of gas taxes and draconian cap and trade emissions rules, plus looming refinery shutdowns like Phillips 66 and Valero, a sobering study from USC warns gas could top $8 per gallon by 2026. And today's rates already reflect the pressure. Ahead of the July 4th holiday, Americans paid the lowest prices in years. However, California shelled out roughly $4.57 per gallon, about $1.40 above the national average per AAA figures. This is what I was alluded to when I was bragging about gas prices going down under Trump right now, compared to Joe Biden. The guy was like, well, not really. Well, yeah, that's because you're in California. That's not our fault. That's your state's fault. That's the loony leftists that run your state's fault. And they jumped a few cents further on Tuesday when the updated LCFS took effect. Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom's aggressive green agenda has worn thin. Newsom's policies involve crippling net zero mandates by 2045 and an all-electric vehicle sales ban by 2035. It's just crazy to think that you would ban the sale of gas cars when that is the majority of the cars on the road. Tom Pyle, president of the Institute of Energy Research, slammed the mandate. He said, quote, "The founding fathers would be rolling over in their graves if they ever thought the government would be in the business of dictating the type of transportation that Americans can choose. Jones says there's more that goes on behind the scenes. His records request aims to prove regulators are purposefully elevating gas prices to force consumers into EVs or public transit. Isn't that what Obama said? That's what Obama said he was going to do. That was the Obama plan, was to make gas so affordable, so it's more expensive to have a gas power car than an electric power car, to force you into driving an electric car. Diabolical work. The request is a plea for correspondence between Newsom's office and the CARB, the state air board. Quote, the goal here is to show by their communications that they are purposefully trying to drive up the price of gasoline so that people are forced into EVs, public transportation, or bicycles, Jones said. Despite no response, he launched a push to audit the LCFS to determine if its economic impact has been buried or downplayed, an effort that CARB and Newsom have yet to address directly. Now, CARB estimates the LCFS changes might eventually cost only 5 to 8 cents per gallon, a dramatic downgrade from earlier projections. But Jones warns this is a smokescreen. Quote, this is defensive scramble, he says. There is no way just adding 5 to 8 cents handles this. One forecast predicts an increase of 65 cents per gallon in the short term. Jones contends that Californians aren't falling for it anymore, however. 40,000 signatures have already come in on a petition to repeal the changes. Jones says this is proof that voters are waking up to the fact that Democrats arbitrarily climate targets are gouging the average citizen. And it is arbitrary. Like, where do you come up with these numbers? Like, where do you get this from? Saying like, okay, this is a great level to have our carbon. Let's make all vehicles do this. Or, like, where does this come from? Who says that is effective? But he's widely critical of unelected regulators and policies that make California unaffordable. This sentiment echoes a broader conservative grievance. The cost of living crisis is a direct result of liberal policies, not market forces. And this proves it right there. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time. Peace.